Hi everyone. Today's Monday with Mary. I want to talk about dating versus relationship and how you know if you're ready to date or if you are actually ready to get into relationship. And there's a really big difference. Being engaged in full-on relationship is something that takes a lot of work. And I know people think that dating is a lot of work, but um, being in relationship requires much more focus, much more concentration, much more consideration. I kind of hate to use the word work because, as I'm sure you've probably heard me say many times before, when you're in the right relationship, it's not really work. Um, Things come a lot easier because when you're in the right kind of relationship, the other person is really hearing you and seeing you and they get you and they've made you a priority in their lives, and so they're concerned about how you're feeling about something. They want to help address things with you and work on things together, right? So to know that you're ready to start dating again is an entirely different scenario. And some of the best ways that you can determine if you are ready to start just dating at this point in time is that you really feel like um, maybe you have not actually recovered from all of the hurts, or maybe you've not completely learned all of the lessons that you want to learn from past relationships so that you don't repeat them and get yourself back into the same dynamics again. But in turn, you do feel like you're ready to start exploring things, and like to a certain degree, you are, wanting to kind of try out the things that you have learned, that as far as like identifying red flags and, maybe trying out a different type because maybe the types that you've been going for in the past have not really worked out so good for you. And that happens a lot because I hear people that say to me quite frequently, well, he's not really my type. Well, has that been working out for you in the past? So, maybe it's time for you to choose a different kind of man or woman, and maybe that's something that you need to start exploring. So, dating is a great place to start that, right? It's about you learning how to be really authentic. And this is also kind of like this experimental ground. And this is another way that we know that we're ready to start dating. When you feel like, you know what, I know myself now more than I ever have before, this is where you can go into a date and see if you really do, or do you start to fall back right away again into this chameleon paradigm, or you shut down and put up a wall paradigm, or whatever your MO has been. This is a good way for you to be able to test out, really, are you confident and secure in who you are and being able to present that and not necessarily get positive feedback, because you're not going to be the right match for everyone, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I always say, dating is like a job interview. And it's not personal if that person doesn't choose to go forward with you. And maybe you're not going to choose to go forward with them, and that's okay too. So, dating is this sort of playground for you to really be able to experiment when you think you have a good idea about, you've adjusted qualities and maybe you're looking for a different type and you're looking to be different and put off a different face and a different dynamic, an authentic one now. So that's how we know that we're ready for dating. When you get to a place that you're ready for relationship, it's totally different in that the urge to not be alone has now settled down. And I think for me, when I work with clients, that's always one of my biggest keys, that somebody is really ready to not just date, but actually move into relationship, is that they have a sense of peace and centeredness and comfort with their own self in their own life, and they're not looking for somebody to fill up this space for them. So these are my tips for you today to determine whether or not you're ready to start dating or you're ready to actually move into a relationship. Ask yourself these questions. Am I sure of what I want to do as far as, how I'm going to project myself and interact with someone else? Or am I really centered and really secure, and I'm now looking to be in relationship because I am not coming from this place of loneliness or wanting to be entertained or just feeling bad about being single all the time? That's never a good place to get into a relationship that will set you up for um, a good amount of dysfunction, because you're doing it with the wrong motivation and the wrong thing in mind. If you're not sure, if you know that there's still things you want to work on, reach out to me, facebook.com/B+1, message me there, and I will get back to you. We can have a great, phone call just to kind of see what's going on and if I might be able to help out. All right, everyone, have a great rest of your week.